Yes, sir. Soup. Thanks for that.
Yes, sir.
Thanks
Nice.
for blessing us.
I like that.
With the it's your perspective poem.
Yes, sir.
I haven't heard that one in a while. I'll go
Yes.
make sure I keep that sheet there.
For sure.
So as we blaze on here, man, we do have a special guest in the studio tonight. We have Emmett Hansen. He is running for the 2018. He's a senator running for the 2018 Virgin Islands Senatorial candidacy. I'm getting this all tongue twisted here. This is coming up for the 33rd legislature. Emmett, thanks for coming through, man. He's a longtime friend from back in the day, man.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming through. How you doing, man?
Man, it's good to see you. Good to see you. I said it before. I'm going to say it again. Please give your mother my best. I'm going to ask her when I see her.
Yes, thank you, man.
And Soup, it's good to see you, man.
Yes, sir. Same here,
we,
yeah.
we just don't get to talk often enough.
Just right.
That's right,
Yeah.
man. So, Emmett, you're running for office.
I am.
This is not your first time.
No, not my first rodeo.
Okay. And, did you run in
Yes.
2016?
No,
Okay.
No.
But 2014. That's when you were on here
for Congress.
for Congress. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So nothing in 2016.
No, I was doing the dad thing, doing the work thing.
Okay.
Doing things I'd never done before, like refinishing the boat. Me and my cousin Emil, God bless him in his grave.
Okay.
You know, when he left, I kind of lost a heart for it, but you know,
Yeah, I got you.
you get over things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was a good hiatus. It was also sometimes we don't know how to step aside.
Mm-hmm.
One of the problems that I see that we have is that in organizations, you say you want to help, but you don't want to help from the bottom up. You don't want to mentor anybody. That's too much work. You know, so you have the same old people offering the same old rhetoric, and so nobody else gets a chance to step in.
Okay.
Now, that may seem contradictory to me now running for the Senate, but I realize that we are at such a crossroads. A lot of people, you're going to hear a lot of criticism about this, criticism about that, but what I am not hearing is the fact that we're going to be dead broke next year.
Okay.
We didn't take in any money
Mhm.
the first 2 quarters of this fiscal year. Now we're in the doldrums. We know hotels drop their rates, all of that in the summer. People go on vacation.
Mhm.
We're in the doldrums in the summer. So when we start the next fiscal year, trust me, the people who make their vacation plans in advance are going somewhere else.
Okay. Okay.
And we have not brought in any new money, but we could talk about that when you get to economics and whatnot,
Yeah.
because we're living a lie here. Even the federal money that you're hearing about, I did the Hugo DSRs. Me, Emmett Hansen, I did them.
What's DSRs?
Damage survey reports for FEMA.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I should have said that.
Okay.
I know,
Mm-hmm.
beyond a shadow of a doubt, you must have matching funds.
But that's what they're
Where
saying.
coming from?
Yeah, that's what they're
Where-
saying. That
where-
we
where
don't
coming
have.
from?
Yeah.
We don't have it.
Yeah.
We don't have it. I spoke to Noel Loftus on Redfield's show, and I'm saying that so people could go back, look it up, and see if I lie.
Okay.
And Noel Loftus said they can't access the money because they don't have the matching funds. So what are we going to do? That's what I'm not hearing, and that's what made me pull them and suit them out of the closet
and try to
and
get
sign
around
a
it.
petition, because we have to get to the point where we accept certain basic facts
Mhm.
about our economic status and lack thereof.
Okay. Okay.
So
Let me ask you this real quick. So what are you running as?
independent.
You're running independent.
Yes.
You think that's the best way to sort of make your push to get in?
It's the best way right now to effect change without being chained to traditions.
Okay.
I'll give you an example of we have a lot of new people here. I'm not against new people, but we also have a lot of new people who are buying a plant and everything else. Now, it's 14 years ago, I passed an Affordable Homeownership Act
Mhm.
that required nothing from the government financially.
Okay.
Nothing. But, and folks, I'm going to say this so you can Google it. Clifford Graham, who's now over WICO, said at the time that it was worth $300 million cash money
Mhm.
for just the homes in 5 years,
Mhm.
and another $300 million in employment taxes. My stance at that time was because we were using government land to put that windfall, that unanticipated revenue, into GRS.
Okay.
And 600 million in 5 years at that time would have stemmed the flow.
You've probably
But
been a
what
little better
happened?
off.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course, because now I don't see how a young person is going to buy a house. I'm kissing 60, and I know people my age can't buy a house because the cost of living is so high.
Yeah.
So who are we running the Virgin Islands for? Are you running it for Virgin Islanders? Or are you running it for anybody else? Because I don't see what you're doing for me.
Yeah. I got you.
So what are you saying that this homeownership act is on the books?
It's on the books.
And
Yes.
it's never been implemented. It never been.
That's
put
the
in-
one that Governor Turnbull vetoed and then copied word for word and sent down. That's when I called him a Bill Napper. I tell you he's been a teacher too long to be plagiarizing other people work. Put it down. So, and I'm saying it in a jocular manner, but I'm dead serious. You don't have to, like, I'm saying these things and citing dates and names because I want people to do a little work.
Yeah.
Google's there every day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Google it and see. It's on the books because the legislature stood with me, shoulder to shoulder, man for man, and overrode his veto.
Okay.
And then, in just for pettiness, he said, well, I ain't implementing it. Well, why the hell not? It's your own people. As a history instructor, one should know that there is no middle class without land ownership. Everywhere has been fought for land.
Yeah.
And you can't give your own people a piece of the rock?
Yeah. So
Well
let
done.
me ask you this. So you were a senator, or what was your?
No, I was in the Senate. I was in the 24th and 25th legislature.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. And so this ownership act is, you said, still around. I mean, are they gonna? Is it in full effect now, or is it just kind of sitting
All
dormant?
it takes is for them to deal with developers. How it worked is that, the government is the largest landowner in the territory.
Yes.
Okay. That land is doing nothing for anyone. It's just lying fallow. You got a couple of people farming. But for the most part, most of it is not arable land that could be farmed, particularly when you talk about St. Thomas, St. John.
Okay.
Even here, there are areas that, because of the area that they're in, they may be caliche,
Okay.
right? So you can't grow what you want to grow
on
there.
it. Yeah.
So how it worked is that the government makes the land available to a developer, enters into a contract. The developer builds homes but never owns the land. The land is deeded to the person buying the house. So this is not and it also, and this is in the law. It is the only employment law because it provides for employment. 90% had to be local for every company, every
Okay.
developer. 90% of the workforce had to be local. Local defined as living here 5 years.
Okay. I got you.
It also said somebody like me who already owned a home couldn't get one. Had to have been divorced or whatever 7 years.
Okay.
So it was for us. But I don't understand why when it's something for us,
Yeah.
it's too hard, it's too this, it's too that, it's the other. Like I said, who are you running these islands for?
Yeah. I got you. All right. So let's go down. Let's go down here. I guess this is your platform.
Yes.
So let's talk about the first one here. You said Infrastructure Maintenance Act.
Actually, those on the top are the ones that have already been enacted.
Yeah, so the bottom. In
Yeah,
future
so
legislation.
the future
Okay.
ones are on the bottom.
Okay.
But, you got to remind folks.
Yes.
Remember me? Remember me?
well, let's talk about it then. So
Okay.
let's talk about the Infrastructure Maintenance Act,
Yeah. What that...
because
so
we all know that our infrastructure is a little lacking here. The roads, the lights, and all
And
this.
that's exactly what it deals with. The reason why I wrote this is because I started looking at the revenue streams that the government has.
Okay.
And what I realized was that pretty much the government was pickpocketing every property owner because we paid this thing called property taxes. You're telling me what the evaluation on my house is. And this was the time with the ice plant in St. Thomas and everything when they're saying, no, you're evaluating me wrong.
Okay.
But what I realized is that we never gave any property owner a direct benefit for paying property taxes. Got dumped in the general fund and used for whatever. So, as you mentioned, potable water, street lights.
Yeah.
And the maintenance of street lights, and I want to press up on that after this simple explanation, and also local roads, because they tell you, yeah, we get federal funds for local roads. You look at a gas pump, it says road tax, but it goes in a general fund. So it doesn't go to fix any roads.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm laughing because we had the same conversation the last time I was here.
Yeah.
So what I did was I mandated that 6%. I wanted more. If I could have take out, I'd have take out. I'm being honest.
Yeah.
I wanted more. I wanted 15%. I settled for 6, 2 in each category to be dispensed October 1 every year. I went to USB, the financial service company that was there, and I said, this is how much this is going to bring in. And also it was locked into districts. So St. Thomas had their own money. St. Thomas, St. John had their own money.
Okay.
St. Croix had its own money for obvious reasons.
Yeah. Yeah.
We could have gotten $10 million a year. The debt service of what we were doing, we could have gotten $10 million a year. And that was a platform for the Affordable Homes Act.
Oh, okay.
You see, because you have to have the infrastructure before you build more homes.
Homes, yeah.
So that's how my mind works.
Yes.
It's very, very linear, and I would say logical.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
It makes sense, yeah.
yeah, and I will put up the tape, and I'll make sure I'll send you a copy of the debate on the bill where I said that the maintenance of these things means you need to bury these lines. This is back in 2000. I started this in 2002. I got it passed in 2003. So
Okay.
from 2003, they've been getting the money every year to bury these power lines. You see what we just went through?
Yeah.
It was completely and totally unnecessary. It's egregious that we went through this.
So that money was just going in a general fund or just?
No, it
being-
was the way how the bill read is that it was only released once a year, which is what made it bondable.
Okay.
You see, because it wasn't, nobody had the dirty little fingers and the pot eaten out of it. It was held in a locked box, dispensed once a year, October 1st, which is why the bond payment could have been realized. And these guys do bonds.
I got
I didn't go to the butcher to find this out. I went to who actually does bonds. And if you're serious about what you're doing, then you must know who to ask when you don't know.
Yeah, I got you. I got you. Another thing you worked on too is the 2001 Gun Control Act.
Oh yeah, that was that. You know, I used to be a sheriff in Louisiana, so when you've done something, you can see it coming down the pike. You can see when it begins to replicate itself. And we had the opportunity at that time to stop the gun violence that was becoming wanton. We all know that sometimes people send their bad children away because they're going to end up breaking rocks in another island. So they come here with the bad ways. We got our own. Let me be really, really clear about that. But what we did not have at the time was a gun law that reflected the reality. You see? From 1968, our gun laws had not been touched. And it was very simple. I believe in gun ownership. A lot. No, I do.
Okay.
I think granny should have a 22. I think everybody should be able to protect themselves. Now, I'm not saying if somebody run in the back of your car, you shoot them. That's ignorance. But I'm saying if you're in your house and somebody come and kick in your kitchen door, send the
Never.
backside flying back out the door.
Yeah.
I honestly believe that in my heart.
Okay.
But this only dealt with unregistered and weapons with obliterated serial numbers.
Okay.
Because those are the ones. When's the last time you heard anybody in the last 10 years, heck, the last 20 years, being shot and killed with a registered firearm?
No.
Right?
No.
It doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Not here, it doesn't happen. You know? So the thing is that we had to deal with the problem and who was bringing in the guns because we don't make them here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? I'm a, you know, I can't fly with mine. So where they're coming from, right? But we have to you had to draw a line, not in the sand, but in the concrete, about what happens, what is the consequence, what is the repercussion of just wantonly firing a registered firearm.
Yeah.
The guns only do one thing, you know. We can't even hunt deer.
Yeah.
So even in the village this past Christmas, a shooting. As I understand, I had one in St. Thomas for Carnival too. Am I right?
I know about here, but I'm not sure about over.
Okay, so let's take that one off the table because I may be wrong. When do we stand up to say something is unacceptable? And that is the problem I have, this accommodationalist attitude that we cannot say, no, you cannot have an unregistered firearm. If you want one, go to the police and get them your fingerprints and do what you need to do.
Mm.
But we're not going to just let you run around creating havoc and just killing who you want,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know? So that was my
so
take
did this
on that.
bill enforce stronger like prison time or?
Yes, oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was, there was one for, I can't remember the numbers right offhand, but I know it was at least 5 years for having it. I think it was doubled if you used it. I think it was 15 if you actually shot somebody.
Okay, I got you. Okay. The next thing is the funded computer lab at JFK and Williams Allied Communities.
That was a lot of fun. I think that was the last thing I actually did.
Okay.
Use the community development block grant funding
Okay.
to put those labs in there because I used to really enjoy going into Williams Allied and teaching at the GED Center.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. We had
Okay.
a lot of fun with that.
Okay. And then the other thing here is you got 2001 Child Protection Act.
That was a collaborative effort. Actually, that was headed by Lorraine Berry, God bless her in her grave. If you've ever heard me talk anyway, you've heard me talk about the whole child trafficking thing,
Mhm.
and that was my contribution to the bill,
Okay.
to deal with stopping that.
Okay. Okay. Any success with that, or is it?
All those things are on the books.
Okay.
All of them are on the books. But the problem is that we've had now 3 governors since, take the Housing Act.
Mm.
3 governors. None of them have thought that it was important for our people to own their own homes.
Okay, I got you. I got you.
Because after the law is passed, it's on them,
Yeah.
you know. But there's nothing stopping a developer from coming in and entering into an agreement for a specific piece of land to build homes for the people, because it's on the books.
Yeah, I got you. And so now we move on here to boost economy on St. Croix with new
Yes.
and innovative investments.
Yes.
Talk a little bit about that. That's economic development. I guess
It
that's all
is.
kind of tied in
And
together.
what we have to do is we have to become more creative about what we do. Gordon Finch is a genius. The plan that he had, I think it was a triage plan he called it, but when he was over Port Authority, and he was talking about building a hotel out by the airport,
Mhm.
a water park, I think, and enhancing the racetrack.
Mhm.
Genius.
Mhm.
But then they took the money and did something else. What's that? Because remember, you know, he had the money for St. Croix development.
Mhm.
He cobbled that money together specifically for St. Croix because Carnival and Royal Caribbean was going to build Crown Bay and St. Thomas out of their own pockets.
Okay.
There was a guy named Giora Israel and another guy named Mike Tursick. I spent many hours with them.
Mhm.
And I have the footage of the hearing. For some
Okay.
reason, I kept that.
Okay.
You know, trust me, it almost made it to the dump heap many times, but I'm glad I kept it at this point.
Okay.
They, for the first time ever, in the only place in the world, the 2 biggest companies were going to put together $10 million to do Crown Bay.
Mhm.
Governor Turnbull went to C-Trade and said he ain't want them doing this, he ain't want them doing that. And then took the money slated for development in St. Croix to do Crown Bay and St. Thomas.
Mm.
Okay?
Mm.
And you know I call name when I talk because I want people to Google these things and see I'm just not making this up.
Yes.
But what we have to do, we have to decide on this island, on St. Croix, we have to decide which way we're going. Fish, fowl, pick one, and stay the course. For me, I think we should go to something wholesome, create our own Disney.
Okay.
We could create our own Disney. It's only characters. Create our own characters.
Mhm.
With the Caribbean diaspora, we have people in every state, every single state in the nation, and all across the world. You mean nobody wants to bring the child here to go in a water park
Mm. Mm.
with Uncle Krabby? Yeah, but I'm saying it jokingly, but I'm dead serious.
Yeah.
I think that is what our island, because we are of a slower pace, we're more culturally based. Why would we not have a culture? I'm talking about Caribbean culture-based water park
Like a theme
on
park?
this. Yes,
Theme
on
park.
this island. We own the land right by the water. It belongs to the government. You mean there's nobody we could really get in business with and keep our end of it? Not like we did to the cruise ships, but keep our word to these people?
Okay.
How many people would that employ? How many young people who are interested in animation could actually make these films?
Okay. So
And know what they're doing, so it's a true representation of our culture.
yeah. So that's you envision that just being a whole big.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We don't, on this island, we don't have to have just one. You know, you could do, you know, you look at where you look at in Fredericksburg, when you look up in the hills where the Maroons were, it would be so easy to have a zip line coming down into Fredericksburg. One of the things that I spoke about was actually taking the South Pond by the pool and making that a marina as an economic anchor for Fredericksburg.
Okay.
Because now people live on their boats, but they have to come off, they have to eat, they have to do laundry, they have to do these things. But you need an economic anchor for Fredericksburg. And there's a natural one. Excuse me, I remember I spoke with Aaron Hutchinson,
Okay.
who's doing a great thing with the leatherback beer.
Okay.
Yeah, he just opened up a brewing company in the
Oh.
industrial park.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did hear about that.
Yeah, that's the same guy. He used to
Okay.
be in DPNR for years, rolling years.
Okay.
And he told me there's nothing alive in that South Pond
Okay.
down west.
Down west.
Yeah. Why not dredge it out? Why not make it a marina? Why not invite more people in who are going to become part of the community, who could go right there in Fredericksburg and buy groceries, do laundry, have dinner, go dancing? But this is the way you have to think. And that's why I was not against the development that Kevin Rames and them were doing, because, again, you need new money to do economic activity.
Okay.
If we pass around the same dollar, I have a dollar, I give it to you, you give it to Soup, Soup gives it to me. By the time I get that dollar from Soup, you know that dollar's costing me money?
Probably.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Because nobody gives you money,
Yeah.
right? Nobody just gives you money.
Yeah.
Money carries a cost.
Yeah.
So we cannot have an economy where all we're doing is passing around the same dollar, and then we're talking about, I need a raise. Well, look at what happens when you get a raise. The same time you get a raise, you also have more taxes. You see? Because now the government have to pay for that extra money. But the thing we do not do is we do not look at lowering the cost of living and improving the quality of life.
Okay.
Those two things are always absent from the table and absent from the conversation, but it should be on the table before you tell me you're going to spend a dime or give a dollar to somebody else.
Yeah, I got
Tell
you.
me how it's going to improve my quality of life, because if it's not going to, then don't do it.
Okay. Let me ask you a question. So,
Yes.
what about, I know, medical tourism? I mean, any thoughts on that? I mean, that's part of, the hospital and all that kind of stuff, but as a way to get new money in here.
If we can put square pegs in square holes, we could do it.
Okay.
But right now, they can't take care of us.
Okay.
They can't do a thing for me and you, because a hospital is, quite frankly, a joke. I'm not saying the people who work there. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just saying that, if we had people who actually know how to run a hospital, because we do have people here who know
Okay.
how to manage.
Okay.
And it's not based on who's your friend, who you went to school with, or some kind of political favor. So I think that not just on the hospital boards, because this is endemic to both districts, but I believe that what we need to do is we need to not say anybody can be on a board.
Okay.
Bring something with you. You're going to be on a WAPA board? Be an accountant, be an engineer.
Okay.
Know something about how that facility is supposed to work.
Yeah.
Explain to me why, even though you've been getting this money for all these years, you haven't run potable water out there.
Yeah. I got you.
Why you haven't buried the lines. Because they're getting the money every year. They're just not doing what they're supposed to do with it.
That seems to be the talk on the street, man.
Well, after what we just went through, I mean, trust me, I'm a little hot under the collar. I didn't get power till January,
Okay.
so I ain't happy with nobody.
Okay. I got
Okay.
you. Yeah, that's a little long there. So what else can we do? There's medical tourism. What are your thoughts on the EDA and I guess their role of trying to big business here.
Well, they
and
don't. They just give tax breaks and
you know.
accept the crumbs that fall from the table.
Okay.
Let me ask you something.
Sure.
Do you know what is the mandated, or if there is a mandate for these companies when they're coming here?
I believe it's 100,000
100,000. So
that they have to give in charitable donations.
Right.
But most of them are out of compliance.
And again, too, we have these companies at least making, again, 90 million, X amount. And they're making these money in months, not
Right.
not for a
Right.
year. And to hear these numbers being flinged out, 100,000 to 90 million a month, is just atrocious. And it's like,
Yeah.
again, what is our leaders, our lawmakers saying, and looking at our citizens of these communities to feel that we don't word it out. I don't know. I really don't know what is the mindset behind these when they're making these laws, but something is going on, and I'm trying to figure it out. And up to now, I don't.
Well, I'll tell you what I think, Soup. I had Ms. Schuster for Matt, so numbers don't scare me.
Yes, definitely.
Okay?
Yes, I.
The fact of the matter is that it was a bad program to begin with.
Okay.
I don't know anybody working for any of these EDC companies who's making good wages. I'm talking about I could save money wages.
Right.
Mm.
You see? So right then and there, I have a problem with it. Because the guys at the top, man, they milking.
Yeah.
They milking
They're the
the
ones
cow.
that making the money.
They're making all the money. And even the charitable donations are more show than go.
Mm.
I don't see any playgrounds being built. I don't see anything being done at Herbert Gregg or the other one. You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I do not see the contributions Christmas festival.
Yeah.
I don't see them.
Okay.
I don't see the impact in the local public schools. Why is Elena Christian? Elena Christian wasn't harmed by the storm. And Elena Christian was abandoned long before
time.
Yeah.
long time.
Long time.
So you mean to tell me that the people working at EDA or the commissioners at EDA going to look at that school, realize the size of the population that it serves,
Mhm.
and you're not going to these guys to say, hey, look, I need a check to fix this school.
Mm.
That's what you're supposed to do. Write it up, buddy.
And I
Mhm.
feel the same way.
Right?
too.
Yeah.
So what are they doing? Well, I mean, and I'm
Seriously.
honestly saying what I'm doing. So when the time I was in the legislature, and I said we might as well get rid of the damn program because it's not doing anything for us.
Mm.
I meant it then, and I mean it now.
Yes, I. Yes,
That's
I.
too much money
Real talk.
passing through here. So what that does is it maintains a perpetuality of colonialism.
Continually.
That's what it is.
Exactly.
It may not be sugar cane, but trust me,
Just-
all you're doing is laundering money.
It's,
Yeah.
it's the same
That's all
thing
you're doing.
over
It's the
and over
same
again.
thing.
And it seems like nobody wants to step in and nobody wants to address it. Nobody wants to do it. Nobody. And again, too, I keep saying, damn, man. How long are I going to keep doing this thing and let our people continue to suffer these things? Suffer. Our hospitals, our schools, our infrastructure. And again, administration come and administration goes. And we keep doing the same thing every 2 years, every 4 years. Republican, Democrats, Independents, and our people still continue to be in the same dilemma.
Yes.
Again, man. So it's like, I don't know, B. I don't know. It's like politics to me, politics ain't solving nothing. So,
Well, and you know-
and I think that we need to do something else besides politics, because I don't know, politics they ain't doing nothing.
Well, you know what? And the
In
funny thing is,
reality,
it's not
so-
even politics. It's just incompetence. Because when you're looking at a political exchange, somebody gets something done.
Mm.
Somebody gets a road paved in the neighborhood. So this ain't even politics. It's just straight up incompetence. Straight up incompetence. You can't even, you see what I mean, Soup? It's not even that. You know, politics is an exchange, quid pro quo.
Yeah.
You know, scratch my back, I'll scratch yours.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody back itching. So, so how are we fixing anything? We're not.
Yeah.
You know, and like I said before the show started, it's that frustration that drove me back into the race.
Okay.
As an independent. So when I want to air my mouth,
Mm. Yeah.
It
You're
come
not,
in.
you're not really
I'm not
defending
bound by anything.
anybody's parties.
Because
Yeah.
we're at the crossroads. And if we don't get it right now, the last man leaving, turn off the light.
Yeah. I
Let
got
me
you.
ask you something.
Sure.
Do you see a separation of a degree of separation between the blue collar crime and the street crime?
You mean the white collar crime and the street
Yeah,
crime?
I'm sorry. Yeah, the
Yeah,
white
we
collar
know we're not
crime, right.
lying. You know, if I speak fluent soup, man.
Yes, sir.
I'll tell you what. I think the white collar crime is more insidious because at the end of the day, it affects more people. Usually, street crimes are crimes of opportunity,
Right.
or crimes among persons whom are
One-
associated with one another.
Right.
That's hard to stop. But there are things that you could do. I could tell you for a fact that after the storm, I worked in Christiansted, and it was months before I saw a single officer walk the streets in Christiansted.
Mm.
However, that's not unusual, right? If you have a show, okay, then you have them. But we need more community policing. We need to support what Rookie Jackson is doing with these kids. We need Parks and Recreation to step up.
Mm.
You know, I mean, I coach Little League for my son. In fact, I was involved in Little League before he was even born, and he's 26 in November.
Mm.
You know, we need to have more 13 to 15 basketball leagues. You know, I mean, we need to have more things to let kids know that there are alternatives to these things that some of these guys want you to do.
Mm.
You don't have to do that to be cool.
Mm.
If you want to draw, man. Here's paint, here's this. And again, we go back to these folks who are supposed to be making these charitable contributions.
Mm.
Where are the programs that they're supposed to be funding?
Funding, yeah.
I don't see them.
Mm.
But the white collar crime, to get back to what you're saying, man, look, they say that if you borrow $10,000, the bank gonna call you. If you borrow 10 million, the bank gonna take you to lunch. Now that's the problem we have.
A lot of people going to lunch, right?
A whole lot of people going to lunch, man. They're getting wide. But also, and I consider myself a Virgin Islander. You know, I finished high school in St. Thomas, have family there, many, many, many good friends, people who treat me like family from back in the day.
Mm.
So I consider myself a Virgin Islander. But don't think my stomach doesn't gripe when you tell me that you're going to spend $140 million on the waterfront, and nothing's wrong with it.
Mm.
But look at the infrastructure here. Look at the complete infrastructure here, and then tell me that is where we should spend money right now. Look at our hospital and tell me we have $140 million for the waterfront. Not a cent to fix the hospital. So the morality scale on that disturbs me.
Yeah, it's extreme, basically.
How do you justify pumping $140 million into the waterfront at this time, especially in light of, in the wake of the hurricane? We took all these people up and we sent them off. We didn't know where the hell they went. And how many died? 160?
A lot of folks.
160 citizens died
Mhm.
because you couldn't take the time to go look for them. But it's okay to spend $140 million on the waterfront.
Yeah.
It doesn't
Doesn't add up. Doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't make sense. Like I keep asking, who are you running these islands for?
Mm.
Who are you running these islands for?
Yeah.
Because, yeah, go ahead, Sue. Sorry.
So with a 35% or 30 to 35 welfare recipient state here right now, in the light of where we at, this could change. If we saying that we gain all these fundings and we're supposed to be using them to build a place. But my whole thing, what I'm hearing, nobody's saying basically is that they're billing back, they're billing, but you can't build a country and you don't build the people them. And I haven't heard, I haven't heard nobody talking about billing back for the people them to really have a sense of pride, a sense of being, a sense of worthiness, or whatever the case may be. Because again, you can't build a country and you don't build the people. Because our greatest resources in any part of creation is the people.
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
so when are we going to? So now, for me, now, a question to you, Mr. Hansen, is that
Mhm.
if this was to ever transpire, what will be your duty to uplift my people, them, to come out of this condition that we there under for so long, keep going over and doing it? Because it seems like nobody really care. Everybody going in there, they gain money, and they living this life, and
Yeah.
because again, the man who they in politics do not know what the local man has to do to survive every day. He ain't coming out here and he ain't talking with the people them. He ain't knocking boots. He just saying his air condition. He don't know when I go to the gas station, Mr. Hansen. If I got I got $5 and I
Right.
know I got to make the decision. I got to buy $5 gas or I got to buy a bread
Exactly.
to go home
Exactly.
to feed my family. Nobody in talking again about uplifting the people and them. So again, this as again I can go back to it. Is a time just come to me. Politics. What politics doing? He ain't doing nothing for the people. Them man. So again, Kamal Carter perspective. So for me, an enlightenment of this. What would you do if this would manifest to bring our people out of this disparity, out of this entitlement mentality, or whatever the case? Again, I know you can't change the thinking. You know. You can't change nobody thinking. Yeah, first everything
Right.
starts here.
Yeah.
But at least they will see somebody is in there that's
Someone's
supposed
talking
to be
about
a
it.
leader and talking
Right.
about it to get to where they want to be.
Well, I'm glad you asked me that, because a big difference between my candidacy and a lot of the other people that you have and will be talking with is the fact that I have a track record to show what I have been trying to accomplish to raise people up. You see? It's not just criticism, because criticism is not a solution.
Exactly.
It's just criticism.
Yeah, we passed that now.
Anybody,
Exactly. We need
We
solutions.
need solutions, and that's why when you're talking about the decisions that have to be made, you have to put people, you have to create an environment for success.
Right.
You have to, if you don't create that environment for success, I don't care what you do. What you said will continue to be the status quo. That's not what we need. We need to be able to give somebody the same thing, like you start off with the infrastructure. You could pave a road so people ain't walking on a dirt road like you using a donkey cart.
And not to cut you off,
No,
you
go
know,
ahead, please.
you have citizens here too that walk in patrol and broke their foot and damage
That's
their
right.
body and
That's
St.
right.
Croix, you know.
That's right.
And our leaders again, nobody again has a. I mean, it's just perpetual, man. It just keep happening over.
We did not have sidewalks outside of Christensen and Frederickson until the Farley administration. And if you notice when you're driving, some people don't even use them. They walk on the other side.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I've seen
I
that.
don't understand that.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
You know, but I want to answer your question because it's a powerful one, and I really want to give you an
Yes,
answer.
sir.
So what I'm saying is that if you look at the legislations that I passed, and none of them were popular until I got the explanation out there. Man, they nearly skinned me for the Gun Control Act. But you know what happened? And it was so unfortunate. When people got touched within their family circle, all of a sudden they became an advocate. But I'm like, but it shouldn't have to come to that. I took no joy in that, you know. I mean, each single one I took very personally. The island ain't but that big.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So every name that was called. If I didn't know the kid, which more than likely I didn't, but I went to school with the aunt.
Auntie,
You see what I mean?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes,
I took it personally. But people now understand. But now we need the judiciary to follow the blasted law. And we need the district attorney's office to charge them for the gun.
But this
Stop
is-
pre-bargaining.
Okay, now as you touch on that now, because we're going to talk. Okay, our attorney general is being selected by the
Wrong.
governor of the Virgin Islands. So what would you do to make this a change? Or are you in favor of that happening? Okay, you said wrong, so that means you're not.
Wrong.
So
We, the attorney general, need to read his job description. He's the attorney for the people of the Virgin Islands.
well, not this one.
None of
Not
them, as far as I
no,
can
no,
remember.
When
You
I
know?
said not this one, I mean the attorney generals that run that run these Virgin
Yeah,
Islands. They're
but
not for us. They're not for the
There's
people.
something called a government house council. That's the governors, not just this one. I ain't talking about this one in particular. I'm talking about all
I
of
talk
them.
about all administration.
Okay, good.
Yes.
We're on the same
Yeah.
page. So the fact of the matter is that the White House counsel is the governor's attorney. The attorney general is the attorney general for the people of the Virgin Islands. Period.
He's a top
So,
law.
so him and the inspector general need to be independent. You cannot have an inspector general who's under the thumb of any governor, not just this one, any governor.
But
They
then
need
again-
to be independent. And in fact, I had a bill, but I ran out of time to get it passed.
Right.
And
That would change that?
yes, I would actually put the IG under the legislature solely for funding purposes,
Okay.
because he needed to be arm's length from the central government.
Right, definitely.
You see?
Yes.
So it would have placed him under the legislature only for purposes of funding. And what it also provided for is that he got a percentage of the overall budget.
Okay.
You see?
Yes,
So, like you said, politics can't be in everything.
They cannot.
Can't
Yeah.
be in everything. So what that would have done, it would have given him his independence, and it was giving him his funding automatically. Budget is this, you get X percent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead then.
Let me ask you a question. So
Yes.
you talked about, I guess we kind of touched on crime. And so you were a sheriff many years ago.
Many, many years ago.
Crime continue. I mean, there's a lot of hot button issues here, but crime is, is one of the top 3, top 5.
Sociology has studied it, man.
What are your thoughts? We talked about gun control, but there's a lot of
Yes.
other types of violence. I mean, there's drive-bys, and there's just a lot of domestic violence and that kind of stuff.
I think, again, the situations where it's people who are well acquainted, it's almost impossible to stop it, but you can stop the perpetuation of it. We need to make it easier for people to separate. And it has to be a hard line, again, in a concrete, that when you're done, you're done.
Yeah.
Because there's enough blame to throw on both sides.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, for
But
sure.
the done thing, if it's whatever. I have an issue of people using children as weapons. Meaning, me, you done so you don't get to see your child.
Yeah.
That's bad.
That's better. Yeah.
I'm not sleeping with her anymore, so I'm not giving her any money for my child. Equally as bad. So as I said, there's enough blame to throw on both sides. But we need to come down as a community and decide who are we going to be and what is it that is acceptable here. Is it acceptable for you to not pay for your children because a woman won't let you back in her bed? Go somewhere else.
Yeah. Yeah.
Only she like you?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Or only he like you? I mean, come on. So as a community, we have to, and the Women's Coalition, people used to joke about it and whatnot, but you know what? They do good work. Because there are a lot of things that they brought to the fore that are now unacceptable.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah. But as far as like I was talking to one of our classmates. He's in Philadelphia, but one of the things that he's hot and heavy on is cameras. Because
Yeah.
cameras are everywhere in the States, and it's sort of a deterrence. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously we probably need funding for that too. But I mean, is that something that?
But it's a matter of priority.
Okay.
Let me put it to you this way. How many times do they pick up your garbage? Do you guys have garbage pickup?
Yes.
Okay, how many times
Once
they pick?
a week.
Once a week. What did it used to be? Twice.
Twice. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
used to be twice for me too. But now I don't understand why Waste Management Authority or whoever the devil it is has an inflated budget, but you're doing half the work.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Of course.
So it's not a matter of do we have enough money. It's a matter of what are you doing with the money? Because if you're now doing half the work and this is an easy one, then why do you need a bigger budget?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing? You're only picking up the trash once a week now. And you're good if they come every week,
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay?
So let me ask you something too.
Yes.
As you touch on budget here, there was a budget sent down to the legislature for $1 billion.
Yes.
When I saw that, it blew my mind because I'm saying we are only 3 islands, 80,000 people, because we lose 100,000.
Right.
$1.7 billion. that's like more. That budget is bigger than certain nations that I know about right now. So, do you see any which way this budget is real, justifiable, or is it a balloon, or I don't know, because it just sounds really astronomical.
It seems like a high budget, but I think generally it's been around that, right, over the years, right?
It's been flirted with.
Okay.
But this I cannot see any reason for a budget
but
to
we
be
calling
that
these,
much.
but this is my whole thing. We calling this $1.7 billion and we don't have a hospital. We got 8 schools shut down. We got road problem. We got economic problem. We don't get money coming into this place.
Exactly.
I mean, so wait is are we really saying to our people? What are we saying to ourselves?
I think that
are we for real?
We can't be. We can't be. There's no reason for us to have a budget. Listen, if you look at what it comes back to what we keep returning to: quality of life, cost of living. Okay? There's no reason for us to have a budget like that and this place not look like Oz.
That's why I'm saying it just blows my mind.
Are you doing the simple things like cutting the grass on the side of the road? No. You fixing those potholes? We keep returning to that. No. Our schools. Remember the school in St. Thomas where a piece of concrete fell on the teacher?
I ever heard something about that? Yeah.
It happened.
Yeah.
You know. So the thing is that we're not maintaining what we have. So the only reason, this is my personal philosophy, the only reason why we have a government is to provide service. The three of us, somebody teach something from you. Call the boys, let's go get it back. But we call the police because we're law-abiding citizens, you know. Garbage. We could decide, man, let me throw it in Randy Lotto over there. He ain't doing nothing with it, right?
Yeah.
Instead, we have garbage. The only reason, there's no other reason to have a government except to provide services to the people. However, when you inflate that budget and decrease services, then you're serving yourself. Because you're not doing a damn thing for me.
For the people, yeah.
For the people, you're doing nothing for the people.
Yeah.
And you know what's so sad, Emmett, is that to see again, I have 15 legislatures that's supposed to be representing the people. And again, man, these people here just, I don't know, man. They just like they're flaunting, they think the people them face right about now. It reached that point now because for us to be to be flinging out these monies, these salaries back and forth on the people them head again, and nothing is being done, nothing is being seen to what you're doing, and we just again, I going back to my statement again.
Yeah,
politics ain't doing nothing for my people them.
Yeah.
So I think something need to change. Go ahead.
Yeah. But just before, like I told you, frustration has me back in the race.
Yeah.
Because I know we can do better. I'm not asking you. I'm telling you. I know that if we're going to be honest and realize that we whoever is elected is supposed to provide the environment for success for our people, then we'll be better off.
Let me ask you a quick question.
Yes,
so when you were in 24th and the 25th, do you think in general the Virgin was better then than it is now, or were we just as bad back then?
I think we were better in the 24th and 25th legislature. We certainly were not perfect, but we got a lot done.
Okay. So there was progression. I mean, we were moving forward.
We created the Supreme Court. We created, what do you call it? The Waste Management Authority, which has failed, by the way, because we're still not recycling.
Yes.
And on a closed structure such as we have, we should be recycling. But it was created with the intention of, one, keeping our airport open, because you may not remember, but we got a letter from the FAA saying, if you don't do something about it, we're going to close your airport in X amount of time. Punto. So we had to do something.
Yeah.
And that legislation, Sonia, oh God, what's her name? She passed away, God bless her, but she did a hell of a job. Nelthrop, I think. But she got that together, and we passed it in. I mean, we had the hearings and everything else, but we had to do it or we were not going to have an airport on St. Croix. And I'm going to tell you something. If you think getting one closed is hard, try reopening one.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
almost impossible.
Okay.
So we did a lot of really good work.
To-
The
to-
Child Protection Act, the ones that I have there.
Okay.
I worked with some incredibly hardworking people. Now, I'm not saying that we're all friends, you know.
Mm.
No.
Some of them couldn't stand me, and I couldn't stand them back.
Mm.
But that's just human nature.
Yeah.
But if you had a good bill, you're going to get my vote.
You get your vote, yeah. Sue mentioned 15 senators. So
Yes.
the talk on the street is reapportionment. Have you heard about that? And what are your thoughts on that?
I've heard about it,
The
and I don't
districting
think
and-
it goes far enough.
Okay.
It's not about the senators. It's about the duties. There are some things that should be I'll give you an example. What you do with land. What do you call that thing? When you change the value of land or you change the uses of land.
What, the zoning? Or?
Zoning. Thank
Okay,
you. Thank
okay.
you. I drew a blank moment. I never ever felt comfortable voting for zoning in St. Thomas because I don't live there.
Okay.
Or St. John because I don't live there. I think the people who live there should have the right to dictate
Mm.
what is done in
Well,
their
and
neighborhoods.
yeah.
I never, ever felt comfortable about it.
Okay.
What I would be comfortable with, because you see this whole thing about districting report, it doesn't go far enough because it doesn't say where duties go. These duties have to go somewhere.
Yeah.
So does it speak to that? No, it doesn't.
Okay. Okay.
So it doesn't go far enough.
Okay.
Personally, I would like to see less senators, but each island have their own mayor and a island council. Now, I'm not saying a paid position, but I think that we generate funds here to have a mayor who could do things like get the trash picked up, who could do all these things. So, because right now we still have the same colonial structure where one man is in charge.
Mm.
And that's problematic to me. And again, I'm not talking about the present governor because it predates him.
Mm.
But I think that we should pick who is going to do the day-to-day operations on the island of St. Croix, island of St. Thomas, island of St. John.
Okay.
You see?
And you think having a mayor would sort of help?
That would be their job.
Okay.
Day-to-day stuff.
Okay.
The other stuff, the federal stuff, they could deal with that.
Okay.
You see what I mean?
Okay.
But zoning, let the island council deal with zoning. They should be the ones who said, because they live here.
Mm.
I don't want anybody else making those decisions for me. If you don't have to live with it, then don't have a part in
Don't
it.
have a say, yeah.
Don't come to my house and tell me how to run my house, in other words.
Okay.
Let the people here have that power. I would bet you, I wager anybody,
Mm.
everything I own, that if we had a mayor here, Elena Christian would not have been shut down, nor would it, or for this amount of time.
Mm.
If you had problems, it would have been fixed and ready for the next
Addressed right
school
away,
year.
yeah.
Because then it becomes an emergency, but the person who has the ability and the authority to deal with it would live here.
Okay.
But in actuality, we don't build schools here. We don't build schools. We don't build none to uplift our people in here. It's just it's just a redundancy that's happening. Look how long Central High
The
is
oldest
there.
school on the
Central
island.
High been here before we went into Central High, and it's still there standing and functioning.
Yeah?
I mean, it's like we are custom or we accept mediocrity, and that becomes our norm.
The normal, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, I've even gone so far as that the expectation of mediocrity has become the new norm, because when you see something that's not that, it bothers me so much when I hear people talk bad about Tim Duncan. I'm like, you can't get better than this guy.
Tim Duncan talk bad about this man. This man was on
Yeah.
the forefront doing everything else. Look at it.
Exactly.
The Virgin Islands don't honor their heroes. They don't wait till 50 years when the people them gone and leave
And then
to
they
do
wanna lay
something
you up
about
like a
it.
slab of meat
yeah,
in
yeah,
Government
understand
House.
me? Yeah, come on, man. I mean,
Yeah. You know,
let me get
but-
real. And I keep. I'm not the optimist no more. I'm not a pessimist no more. I think being real and
Yes.
actual is what's happening.
Yes.
And that's why I want to deal with it. I ain't want no half glass full. The glass half full, and that's why it is half full. Let me see what we could do to make it full
And keep it full.
and keep it full.
And keep it full. And that's why you keep, when you look on the card, you see I'm talking about new investments. Not the same old wrong and wrong. I mean, I think that Valgrave and his group they've done better than I expected.
Yeah.
And I applaud them for doing what they're doing
Yes.
downtown. Absolutely. I'm not a gambler. I live out by DV. Not Well, not that far from Divi. Maybe about less than 10 minutes. I'm not a gambler. I've never been there to gamble. It's not my thing. But you're hailing something that was just an add-on to something that was there already.
Right.
We did the same thing with Divi. They reconstructed a destroyed hotel. So we're not having new hotel rooms.
Bills, right. So it's the
You
same
see?
amount.
So it's the same thing
Yes,
again
sir.
and again and again. And like I said before, we have to get more creative. You know?
Innovative.
We have to get more creative. We know, if anybody's paying attention, and I'm not saying this is the way to go, I'm just saying it is an avenue.
Yeah.
Right.
Right?
Try something.
The Chinese
different.
have been in and out of the Caribbean. They all over spending money as investors. The same theme park that I spoke about. Who is the world leader in animation? Ain't that?
Chinese.
Right?
Let me ask you something. If an oil refinery is in a country, they
Mm-hmm.
50 years, whatever the case may be, and they're gone. Why is it that the people that are living in that land was not a benefit of that economic growth also? Again, because I going back to the same thing. You can't build a country and don't build people. I mean, it seems like that is what our norm to be around this place. All these things is coming in here to big up this island, to big up whoever is making these deals. But at the end of the day, the small man, he still sells the same way. He still got to struggle. I got elderlies at home right now trying to figure out how they're going to pay a light bill.
Yes.
Or to put medication or to
Yes.
buy their food. Okay, we just come out of Wapa. I mean, from out the hurricane about 5, 6 months, 8 months ago, right? We didn't have no light for about 3, 4 months. You were saying that you didn't have no light until January. So that's September,
22nd.
October, November, December, January. That's 5 months. And now today we're getting light bills for $300, $600, and they expect these elders to deal with them. And again, we have representatives on both islands that I ain't hearing nobody's talking about these things. Nobody's is saying anything. So again, it's like I just they're riding our backs. They just riding our backs, keep riding our backs, and we're supposed to create miracles for ourselves.
So listen, there isn't a single thing you said that I disagree with. Because I'm trying to figure out, if the price of oil hasn't tripled, why has my bill?
Why has my bill
Now,
gone up?
remember, WAPA dumped a crap load of money into this whole propane thing, Let's not forget that.
Of course.
They pumped hundreds of millions of dollars into this propane conversion. And then, without letting anybody know, and the PSC is at fault for that because they should have let us know because they regulated, they went back to gas and didn't say anything. So now you run a little propane through the thing, and then now all of a sudden you owe this guy $300 million?
So basically, we're running on a giant generator.
Yes, but it's even more insidious than that, and I'll tell you why. They charge you twice for street lights. Remember, they're getting paid for street lights through the property taxes.
Taxes.
Now you put it on my bill. That, my friend, is theft. You can't charge me twice. If I come and I buy a drink, and you charge me twice for it, I'm supposed to call the police on you.
That's why I asked you the question: is there separation, a degree of separation between street crime and white collar crime? That's why I went there. Because
And like I said, the white collar crime affects so many more people. So I
Right.
think it's even worse.
You understand me?
Yeah, but with this WAPA thing, again, we're coming back to boards. I said so earlier that we
Right,
need to
yes.
deal with who gets on
the
these
boards.
right?
Yes.
So here,
yes.
here it comes back around. Now we're back to this because I fail to understand how anyone on that board who's supposed to be having the oversight has not called them in and said, explain to the public how this can be.
Right.
How can it be that you haven't given these folks a bill because you were knocked down, your lines weren't up?
Exactly.
What am I paying for?
I trying to find this. I tell WAPA, I think I have some kind of common sense. I think, okay. And what you telling me?
Don't make no
Making
sense.
No
Listen.
sense.
I'm like Tumba. I live alone. So I want to know if my dog running my microwave or the dryer.
And I got smart meters that I have put in. So
Well,
how smart are these meters?
We used to call people in school who used to try and teach you, smart man. Because it makes no sense to me. I need to know. I don't care. I'm a skinflint, okay? I don't like to just throw away money. I don't. I like to see where my pennies
Where we
go.
going?
Okay?
Exactly.
So when I'm out, only one TV on, light on in the room that I'm in, I don't have a new money drawing appliance. I'm not running an AC. It got to be the dog. Soap, you want a dog?
No.
No. The dog costs so much money.
Don't eat that much.
Yes. Yeah.
So Emmett, man, we're gonna roll on here. It's
Okay, yes.
it's 9:07. We're gonna try to get
Okay.
down to 9:30.
Okay.
So
I'm enjoying myself, by the way.
moving on here, let's talk about improved banking services. What's your mindset
This
with
is a
that?
big one. It's bigger than it looks. We have basically two financial institutions here.
Mhm.
We don't get the service that we want. There's no reason, none,
Mhm.
none,
Mhm.
and I dare any one of them to contradict me, why it takes 7 to 10 days for a check to clear.
Okay.
Right?
I've experienced that.
It makes no sense.
Yeah.
It makes no I can get on my computer and I can buy anything I want with a push of a button and they get the money like that.
Mm.
You mean to tell me that you can't, because they have the ability to see if anybody has the funds in their
The
account.
funds in their
Mm.
account, right?
Okay?
Right.
It's simple.
Mm.
It's very simple.
Mm.
So what you're doing is you're gaining interest on my money for 7 to 10 days.
Yeah.
I don't get interest on my check for you having my
Right.
money tied up.
Mm.
You know how difficult that makes banking for someone who wants to come in here and do something?
Yeah.
It makes us seem like we are back in the 60s.
I got you.
60s, further than that.
And then there's too much, coming back to you again, Soup, there's too much theft where you look and you kind of say, wait, I didn't buy this, I didn't buy. Why is it so easy to infiltrate our accounts?
Yeah.
And everybody has a story. Everybody has a story. So the banking services has to be better. The other thing is that two things will kill any society: lack of access to information, lack of access to capital. We need access to capital here.
Mm.
Our small businesses
Yeah, I was
are
gonna say.
dying on the vine because they cannot keep the inventory necessary for them to turn over to turn a profit.
Yeah. To be in
Because-
business.
To be in business,
Right.
because at the same time, remember, everything else is going up. You have a restaurant,
Mm.
food has
going
doubled.
Doubled, yeah. Oil, gas, and even
Everything.
stuff too. And even stuff too with the banks them here too.
Mhm.
I noticed that the banks them here, if you go into the banks to apply for a loan, they're gonna tell you straight up is Puerto Rico the place or some
Exactly.
or some places. So then if
Exactly.
if I'm banking my money with you and you telling me when I come to get a loan I got to go to Puerto Rico, then you don't need to be here. I need a man that here that dealing with St. Croix and St. Croix
Exactly.
with the Virgin Islands.
Exactly.
And a whole, so I need these laws to change to make them more suitable, more
Yeah.
citizen friendly.
That's right. And the other thing is that again is new investment, because I can't remember the last lieutenant governor who actually attracted a bank here.
Okay.
Okay.
You-
So I was
you
going to say, so you have to work with the lieutenant governor on this banking, because that's where that falls under his umbrella, banking
Yes.
and insurance.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the thing is, and we need one that wants to work.
Okay. I got you.
And I can't be plain about that. We need one that wants to work.
Okay.
And actually make that happen.
Okay.
And have the data that a bank needs to make the decision to come here.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah.
Because they're not going to come here and build a building and put in a vault and hire all these people just cause they like Callaloo. Okay? There has to be a reason for them to come.
Yeah.
There has to be a business environment that welcomes them.
Business friendly.
Yeah. And the thing is that we pay bills. We'll be hungry.
Mm.
You won't know.
Mm.
But we're going to pay that bill.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah. I got you.
We don't have the default numbers that they have in other places.
Yeah. Okay, so moving on here, you talk about localized all veteran services.
This is something I've been working on for a long time, and actually got that in the 2016 Democratic platform
Okay.
when I was national committee man,
Okay.
and actually got a resolution passed when I was state chair.
Okay.
I think that may have been 2012 or 14. I forget which. My uncle and my father died in a VA hospital in Puerto Rico. That haunts me because they're not the only ones. When I spoke with these people, they didn't even know that we didn't have a VA here. I ain't talking about no stupid clinic. Okay? So forgive me if I sound disdainful, but that's how I feel about it. I think it's an insult to give me a clinic when we could have had a hospital.
Yeah.
And again, everything has to come from Puerto Rico. You got to wait a
That's
whole
right.
month for the guys them to come in and for you to see them and to talk to them. You go in there, you make an appointment, you got to sit down and wait for a month to come back. I said,
Exactly.
well,
And in the meantime, you're dying
you're
slow.
dying, exactly.
So, and it's also the fault of the persons running a hospital, because I proposed to them, because there's enough money in the fund, in the transportation fund to fly you
Right.
back and forth to Puerto Rico, to have taken over the wing that they had closed.
Mm.
We could have done that internally
Mm.
because the resolution had already been accepted. And one thing you'll notice, when it comes to veteran issues, the Republicans and Democrats nationally usually hold one head.
Exactly.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
So it's our fault that that didn't happen.
Didn't happen. Okay.
And
Oh.
and that I take very, very personal.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
You know,
Okay.
our veterans were called up in disproportionate numbers. Here in Puerto Rico and Guam,
Mhm.
cannon fodder. You know, I don't know a single family that hadn't lost someone in a war,
Mhm.
right? Because we go in such great numbers.
Right. So, and as you're saying that, because they just flan this thing in your face all the time.
That's right.
So then, why is not a reflection of the veterans them here now that they serve and they are taken care of
Yes.
in that manner? Why is it?
And
You know?
and the thing is that would have helped everyone, because okay, you separate that. Here's the veterans wing and whatnot. We don't need them sleeping on the streets and all this stuff.
Exactly.
They have a place to go. But if there's a doctor there who's a neurologist, and you have a kid with a problem, isn't he gonna see that kid?
Yes, too.
Well, this is what I'm saying, because they're gonna buy all brand new machines.
Mm.
That's how the military
It
works.
right.
They have planned obsolescence. This machine we're gonna have for X amount of years. There might not be a thing wrong with it.
You got to go and get upgrade
Flip it over.
Yes, sir.
You see?
Yeah, man.
So it's very, very hurtful to me.
Near and dear. Yeah.
It is. It is. You know, and we could do better. We can do better.
Mm. Okay. You said long-term agricultural planning.
Yes. We need to stop playing with agriculture.
Mm.
We need to work with rural development, and we need to look at the sectors of the island and what is the best crop for that sector.
Mm.
Just because you like to plant peas don't mean that your land grows peas well.
Mm.
If we can sit down and we can map out the available areas,
Right.
what grows best here,
Mm.
and grow it in abundance, not just for us, but for export,
Export.
which again gives us new money,
Money
coming in.
Yes.
But it takes the science of actually checking out the land.
Right.
Is it acidic? Is it this? Is it that?
Mm.
What grows there?
Mm.
You know, like I heard somebody saying the other day about pineapples. I'm like, you know how long it take a pineapple to grow? You're not going to eat that pineapple for another like 2 years, you know.
Yeah.
And they were like, nah, man. I was like, okay, whatever. You know, like what you say, soup, you can't change the thinking.
Yeah.
You know, but the thing is that there are things that we can grow very quickly. There are things that's growing here now.
Mhm.
You know how it bugs me to see tamarind being sold from China?
Mm. Yeah. Yeah.
China, Taiwan. Yeah, and I said, wait, Tamran knocking dog wrong here, and we importing Tamran.
Right, and people buy.
And people buying them. So I don't.
Okay, so it's not just me then.
yeah, B. Yeah,
Okay.
it's like.
Oh, okay.
what
It's
is
not
it?
just me.
You have to come in a box, pretty up,
Yeah.
and go on a shelf to.
6 tamarind.
And believe me, these things are sell out because if they're shipping it from Taiwan or
Yeah.
China,
Yeah.
it'll sell. So
Yeah, yeah.
anyhow, how we gonna fix GRS?
We have. Well, that's. Oh boy, that's a big one.
How we gonna fix this thing?
We have to go back to the original plan that I told you about, because with these new homes,
Mhm.
That's unanticipated revenue. Government didn't plan for it.
Right.
Let GRS serve as a super developer so they get the money. Let them handle this. So when the taxes come, send it to GRS. Because this plan about going from 1/5 to almost 25%,
They done gone up, you know.
but it can't work
They
because
done raise it.
we have situations here where agencies have taken the contributions from the workers and not sent into GRS.
Of course.
Yeah.
People have retired, resigned, and go to check to them and said there's zero.
That's right.
5-10 years. That's why going back to this thing with these criminals that
Yes.
walking around here every day.
And
You know?
and I'll say something else. Somebody has to go to jail for that.
Emmett,
And the
when the day come, that will be a great day, to believe you me, because it's too long now. It's too long.
Same thing. And it started somewhere.
It's too
It
long.
started somewhere where somebody felt that they could take my
My
retirement,
money,
my mommy retirement
Time and money and do whatever they want to do with it.
and it's okay because there are no repercussions. That's what's missing
Again.
here. Repercussions.
Oh.
And we're not talking about $1 million. It's hundreds of millions of
Millions of
dollars over the
dollars.
years. And I don't know whoever brought up this thing about the special projects. What business GRS have with buying a hotel, a resort?
Well, they say they're investing, and they got investors on their boat to give them to give them the direction.
And we reach there again. You see?
Of course.
You see how it happened? And
I
we
know,
reach there
I
again.
know exactly what I'm talking
In
about.
terms of who's on these boards, what are you bringing to the table? That has to change.
But are you in favor of boards?
I am,
You
but
do-
I'm
you
in
do-
favor of boards that are set up to be efficient,
Yes.
not just for so.
Yeah.
You
You know,
know?
people on the boards that have some
Something-
knowledge of the industry that they're
But
Something to
yeah.
yeah.
that's the most common sense thing to do.
Right?
Common sense to do. So,
Do you,
but
do you know we have almost 100 boards?
I know there was a lot, and you
Almost
hear that
100.
you hear that quite
I
a
believe
bit.
the number is 92.
Wow.
So let me ask you this: Is these things set that way because we didn't have the capability of the organization of running themselves, or it was just each entity have to have a board?
Man, if I knew, I'd tell you. Because it doesn't make sense to me.
Mm.
It doesn't make sense. My mind doesn't work that way.
That way, yes.
You
sir.
see? So okay, you have to let the people who actually work 8 to 5 do their work. Okay? Those are the people with the expertise. You can't come sit down there one day and all of a sudden you know more
You
than
know more than me who did it. Yes, sir. Yes.
and that is where things get convoluted.
Mm.
And that's when you make decisions, because now all of a sudden you're sitting here, you're looking at all this money and say, oh yeah, I could do a better investment than the guy who went to school for 12 years, who's been making us money every year.
Yeah.
Let's buy a hotel.
Mm.
I've always wanted one. I think I look pretty good sitting down there. And that's what happens.
Yeah, yeah.
And then now all of a sudden there's no marketing, there's no this, there's no that. Nobody know where all the mahogany furniture gone. Right?
Just get up and walk.
just get up and walk away.
Yeah.
So again, it's if we could start off with the idea that every aspect of government is to provide a service, we wouldn't run into these problems.
Okay. The next thing here you say is create a mental health agency.
We need a mental health agency. here.
Another hot topic issue here. A lot of mental,
You see, here's the thing,
mentally
David.
challenged people walking around.
Well, that's our first thought of it, but we don't think about our elders who are entering in a stage of dementia.
Mm-hmm.
You see? There's a lot of people struggling with that out of a sense of duty, and each and every one of them I applaud.
Mm.
But the government should have some assistance, you know.
Mm.
So it's not just the guy walking without his pants down Queen Mary Road,
Mm.
right? It's not the one slapping the hair off his head.
Mm.
You know, it's grandma who doesn't recognize anyone. And when people get to that age, they become very difficult to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a strain on a family, especially when there are no resources.
Mm.
So we have to start looking at that. For whatever reason, I think diet has a lot to do with it. There's a lot more dementia in our community.
Mm.
And it's coming at a younger age.
Mm.
You know, I mean, Alzheimer's. You know, a very, very dear friend of mine, young man, you know, took him early. You know, and people don't realize how insidious and nasty this disease is. You know, forget how to swallow, so you choke to death on your food. You wouldn't think about it, but it happens. You know, somebody has to not go to work because granny can't, or grandfather or uncle can't be left alone.
Yes, sir.
You see, this is happening in almost every family, and there's been absolutely no move toward
to correct
helping.
it, to help it, to soothe it, to kind of bend. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
it's like,
people need help.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's like our society is really decaying from the
Yes.
inside out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And the other thing, this in particular flies into what we're talking about in terms of quality of life, because people leave because they can't make it here.
Of course.
So this person may have kids, but all of them are away,
Mm.
and none can afford to just come back home.
That's right.
So, you know, so here it is. Your uncle's there. You can't let him starve, man. You know, you find how. I mean, we keep hearing, you know, this person has wandered off. Have you seen them? That's one of the saddest things to me. You know,
In a small place like this.
in a small place like this, and sometimes you just can't physically deal with it. You know, because they may be an elder person, but they're strong. You know.
Yeah.
And when he starts to throw kick and box, you know, it's the truth. That
Yeah.
is the reality of that disease, because they're confused. They don't know who you are.
Who you are.
You know, what do you want me? Leave me alone. Get out my house. You know.
Oh, I know.
And then too, you have to have that temperament too. It's just. You know,
That's
Yeah.
very true.
You know, you got to have that temperament. So it takes a
Yeah.
lot.
It takes a lot, and it takes a toll on you.
Yes,
Yeah.
I sure do.
Yeah.
So Emmett is 9:23. We got to run down a few more things here on our
Okay.
list here. This whole thing of medical marijuana legalization. What are your thoughts on that, real quick? Do you think we can get away with?
I've never seen the numbers that prove to me that it's going to make a difference here.
Okay.
We don't have the airlift. We don't have the hotels. So are we just saying we're going to legalize it so we can pass around that same dollar that I was talking about?
Okay.
Because if you can't get to people that have nowhere to stay, what are we doing?
Okay. But I mean, if we got a couple more hotels, you know, things are functioning the right way. I mean, would you be?
I need to see the numbers.
Okay.
Remember, I'm a business counselor.
Okay.
You know, I need to
So
see the
numbers
numbers.
need to add up.
And I've never seen the numbers that can tell me that it's going to bring more than $1 million in a year.
Okay.
And what's our budget? Over $1 billion.
Over $1 billion. Yeah.
So is $1 million, what are you going to do with that?
Yeah.
And the infrastructure that you have to set up for that is going to cost you money rather than making money.
Making money up front.
Personally, I don't care if somebody smokes or not.
Okay.
So it's not that I have a personal disregard. I just need to see the numbers that are going to tell me it's going to work for us.
Yeah. Okay.
Because remember, that's what they said the casino was going to do. But
Yeah.
the first slot machine will be rolling in the money. Wait a
And Divvy's closed.
Divvy's closed.
Divvy's closed. They said probably won't open back up until next year.
Yeah.
So real quick, we talked about WAPA a little bit, but are you in favor of more renewable energy? You know, we have the solar farms, wind turbines, and that kind of stuff.
If I had my way, there would be some way that the government would subsidize solar energy, a solar panel on everyone's roof. It's a waste that we don't have it. The problem with that traditionally has been people have been more interested in keeping WAPA at a size than being efficient.
Say it's
Okay.
gonna cost us 20 grand a house or something today.
They're full of fat.
All right.
They're full of
That's the
fat.
numbers I think I
You
heard
heard?
somebody said. Yeah.
And you know, they're going to use that number, but they're never going to be able to prove
Prove
the
it,
number.
right.
Two separate things.
Yeah.
And I felt because of how we came through this hurricane was the perfect time to really push that. to
Absolutely.
Push that.
Absolutely.
To really push that. You know, and again, it's like say, I don't know, man. Maybe it's me. Maybe I come from space or which, you know what I'm saying, because this age just ain't making no sense no more.
No, but and like we're saying, the problem with it is that they want to keep WAPA the way it is. Inefficient, ineffective, whatever. As long as I get my budget at this, I'm fine.
Fine.
Mm.
You see?
Yeah.
Because remember, we had the big thing with the
The propane.
The propane.
Yeah, conversion.
And for some reason, somebody forgot to pay the supplier.
So it died, So that just reached the waist and just.
Yeah. So, but in terms of renewable energy, I'm for that 1,000%. And I think it should be mandatory that any new building have that.
Right. Okay.
Any new build, commercial or personal,
Yes.
have a solar panel on the roof.
Yeah, to help. Yeah.
Yeah.
Another hot topic here is education. Are you in favor of increasing teachers' pay?
Yes.
And that's another hot button issue
Absolutely.
here. They've underpaid for years.
Decades.
Absolutely. There no wiggle room, no nothing. Yes.
Okay.
When a teacher comes to you ready to work.
Yeah.
You hire firemen, and this is not knocking these professions, I'm just showing the difference.
Yes.
You hire firemen, you got to train them. You have police officers, you have to train them. Why would you pay somebody that already invested in themselves less? That's just nuts.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
I haven't thought about it that way. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
You see, our teachers deserve every cent. Every cent.
They can get
That's
their
right.
hands on.
Listen,
That's
I
right.
used to teach, and let me tell you, it's not when the bell rings at the end of the
It's
day.
not the day. It's
Not
all
the
done.
day ain't over, you know.
Of course.
And-
you got to make
and
that phone call. You got to
all of us. That's
prepare
right.
and
And a
just-
lot of these kids have problems, man, and you're more counselor than a teacher,
Yeah.
you know?
Of course.
So,
With
absolutely,
with
they deserve
today's-
every dime.
With today, what we're dealing with, the bombardments of information, the technology, and everything else that's going on, we're dealing with a more different beast right now.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
One more thing here: tourism. You know,
Mm-hmm.
tourism is what we are here. I mean, it would be great if we got more ships coming in. It'd be great if we got more people off the ships. I had an opportunity to work when I lived in Florida for Royal Caribbean Cruise Lines, and I know,
Nice.
these ships hold 3,000-4,000 people, and obviously we all know that when the ship goes to St. Lucia, a lot more people get off than they do here.
Yes.
I mean, what can we do?
You have to have a reason to come to the dance.
Okay.
And that's why I said, at the beginning that we need to create a Caribbean themed cultural theme park. Water slides, the whole thing. Let them experience, fungi. Most people have never had fungi in their life.
exactly.
Most delicious thing with anything you want to put with it.
Yeah.
People don't have a problem going to New Orleans and trying gumbo.
Gumbo, yeah.
Jambalaya.
Yeah.
It's basically the same thing.
Yeah.
But it's a pride that you take in it that makes them, I need to try that.
Yeah.
If we could do something like that, and I know that we can. I know that we can. If we were single-minded and we decided this is the direction St. Croix is going, we are going to become a family destination.
Okay.
Everybody come, right? Put the marina down in West. Let people come from Puerto Rico and sail over with their boats and have the day trips like how they used to do back in the day when we had Colombian Emeralds and Cavanaughs and all these places where they used to come and shop for the day
Yeah.
and then go back, right?
Yeah.
But we could do so much more. But we have to find something and stick to it
Mm.
and not be here and there and everywhere.
Okay.
You see?
Okay.
Tourism, you have to be the place that people want to be.
To come to, yeah.
You
Yeah.
have to fix these towns and the middle as well.
Yeah.
But we have to develop things for people to do. Within the theme park, man, we could do anything that we want.
I got you. All right. And the last thing here, you say eliminate blight in our towns.
There's another bill that I had, and I ran out of time, called Blight Busters. And what it did, it created a revolving fund that if you owned a property and it was in a condition of blight, the government would control but not ownership.
Okay.
Would pay to fix it up. And then it would be returned to you in one of three ways. You can look at the amount of money that the government spent with a small interest and pay them out, and now you go ahead. The government could use it at current market rates, and then when they have reached back the amount of money that they spent to renovate your property, they could continue to lease and now pay you, or just give it to you,
Okay.
or rent it to a third party
Okay.
who would do the same thing as the government, and then the person could elect to continue renting from you.
Okay.
But the other thing that it would do, it would create a corporation during that time, because the reason why towns are like this is because people die intestate. They die without a will. So there's a bunch of people that own it, but they would form a corporation, and your share would be in exact relation to your relationship with the original owner.
Oh, okay.
So if your grandson or whatever, those would be your shares in the corporation.
Okay. Okay.
And there would be an office that would help to manage all of that.
Okay.
This is your rent. Here's your check.
Right.
I got
So
you.
it's no.
So
thing with family.
so you got some resistance on that, or
No, I just ran out of time.
Okay.
I just ran out of time.
So this is back when you were in.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it never really. I just didn't have the time.
Okay.
You know, at the time I was pushing the housing bill, and remember I had the manufacturing company that was going to move here,
Okay.
and again, new industry, and I just ran out of time.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But you'll be seeing that one again. Trust me.
You'll be working it again.
Oh,
Okay.
yes.
Soup, any more questions, Soup?
No, just want to wish Mr. Hansen all the best.
Well,
Thank you.
No, wait, before you even go there.
Yeah, before you go there,
You close.
you close.
Okay.
Give us
Tell the people.
three minutes, your number and everything. Just put it all together.
Okay. Listen. Thank you guys for having me again.
You're welcome.
This is like just being in the
In the yard, right?
sitting under the time tree.
Exactly.
You know? But I know that what you're doing is very important, because there's influence and then there's information. You guys provide information, and as a journalist, thank you for that.
You're welcome. You're
Um,
welcome.
I hope that people got a chance to really sit down and listen to what I'm talking about and the experience that I'm bringing.
Mhm.
And the fact that I understand beyond a shadow of a doubt that what we need is a drastic change from business as usual.
Mhm.
A drastic change from business as usual. I'm not running to live in the Senate. I'm not.
Mhm.
At this point in my life,
Mhm.
a quiet afternoon is my joy.
Mhm.
But I realize that we need people who understand the way money works here in government.
Mhm.
You can't get billions if you can't get what you don't have.
Mhm.
And there's a cost to money, which is why you're hearing about billions. But I'm telling you, next year, we're going to catch holy hell. I was in the Senate when 9/11 happened, and we were in the same situation. September, 9/11 happened.
Mm.
Nobody was coming on a cruise ship. Nobody was coming on a plane, and we ran out of money.
Mm.
And I told Governor Turnbull then, draw back this budget, and let's live on last year's.
Mm.
He said, no, I can't do that. I don't know what I'm talking about. But by April, he was singing the same tune.
Mm.
So what I want us to do is start changing government, reforming government. One of the hardest things that I spoke about here today is going to be the reduction of the Senate and the institution of a mayor and island council.
Mm.
The reason is because people don't like to give up power.
Mm.
But if you're looking at extending your lineage, at some point, you have to cede power
Mm.
to those coming behind you. And that's what I'm trying to help and set up and change all these things. And like I said, put real work into creating a middle class. Because right now, we're not working for the people who live here.
Mm.
Trust me when I tell you that.
Mm.
When we can look at the fact that both hospitals are going to hell and we're going to dump $140 million on a waterfront project,
Mm.
the locals in St. Thomas don't need a waterfront.
Mm.
They don't. So again,
Yeah.
who are you working for?
Mm.
Right? You got 7 schools closed here, 3 schools closed there, but you're going to put money in a waterfront? For what?
Accountability.
We need that, and we need to start challenging our leaders to be leaders. And
Mm.
if you're not, it's simple. Lead, follow, get the hell out of the way.
I got you.
That's always been true. So listen, I want to thank you guys again for the opportunity. I really appreciate it, and I always listen in.
Okay. Our guest tonight is Emmett Hansen. He is running for trying to be a member of the 33rd legislature. Come up here in November. You're not.
I'm not in the primary.
You're not in the primary. So
No, I'll see all you good people in between now and November.
No, November. Okay.
And I
So
have,
you've been doing
I have
any,
these pretty cards that I just brought down.
So have you been out canvassing, talking to?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. I mean, you know, I'm the type of guy. I spend an hour in Plaza Extra talking to people.
Okay.
But I just picked up the paraphernalia, so
Okay.
we'll be going out and handing those out.
Okay.
And you know, I like door-to-door campaigns.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect, man. So, Soup, any final words, man?
Mr. Hansen, I wish you the best. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you so much.
One perfect love, brethren.
Every day.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and I want to thank you too for coming through. Best of luck to you, man. Hopefully you get in. It sounds like you got your head focused and you understand what needs to be done just to make this place a whole lot better. Not just for me, but for for someone coming up behind me,
Absolutely.
and someone coming up behind him or her, looking down the road, man. But one perfect love is our prayers and His blessings. When you put it all together, man, you get one perfect love. I just want to say real quick that this is the It's Your Perspective talk show every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 8 p.m. until. We do have a telephone number, 340-201-9005. We'll be back next week, Tuesday. We got another guest lined up. So everybody have a great weekend. Be safe. And we're out.
All right. Thank you, Kings.
Yes,
All
sir.
right. Yes, sir. Bless up.
Bless up.
Who are you? Me and my best friends, the baddest in the room. Acting like